Microsoft Flight Simulator has had an awesome update. Sim Update 7 in combination with the Game of the Year edition. It's a bit confusing, but to explain it quickly, Sim Update 7 brings the global changes such as DirectX 12 and replay mode, and the Game of the Year edition brings a bunch of new features for people who already own the existing version for free. That includes a bunch of handcrafted airports, new photogrammetry cities, and 5 new beautiful aircraft. If you're watching this video, chances are you've had Microsoft Flight Simulator for a while, so you'll get Game of the Year edition for free. But if you don't, it doesn't cost much to upgrade in the future. There's also another thing I'll be talking about for you in a future video, that's the Reno Air Race. But that's not what today's video is focusing about. There's a lot to talk about, so if you enjoy these kinds of videos, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help me out. I hope you enjoy what you're going to see. I'll be giving my first impressions on some aircraft, then I'll be going through the patch notes and talking about some features. For obvious reasons, I won't be able to cover everything in this video, but I cover what I see to be the most important stuff. Without further delay, let's get right into it. Okay, so welcome to the simulator. Although I've introduced us there, this is my first time on the new update. Now, first thing I noticed is that it has reset my settings, which explains why I've got this heads up display all around me. I'll go through my settings and sort them out, but initially I'll be showing you my first impressions. First thing I noticed is that even on live weather, clouds, I don't know what they've done to them, maybe it's just the weather system, but they look much more fluffier, I've got to be honest. Nonetheless, let's get up in this F18 Super Hornet. Of course, meant to be released with Top Gun. I am running FS Realistic, parking brake comes off. First thing I notice is that for an aircraft, for a fighter jet, it's not overtly sensitive. I'm not putting any rudder in, and we can pull back now. There we go. It's quite quiet, but I do quite like the flight model here. Just looking around the cockpit, you can see most things work, including this display. Bit of a lag spike there. So for my first impressions of this update, it seems to be very good. For a fast aircraft, I'd expect it to be quite glitchy, especially seeing as it's the first time they've released it out to the public. And while I wouldn't say textures are perfect, it does look pretty nice. Something else I'm also going to try out, and I've never tried it out yet, is the replay mode. But look at all these custom displays. Of course, not all of it works. You can see we've got not implemented here. I guess it just takes you back. Yeah, a lot of it isn't implemented. We've got our autopilot here, so if we click it, we've got altitude. There we go, does something. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is show you replay mode, because they have introduced the sonic boom, so I want to see if we get enough speed, whether or not we'll be able to hear it. So one thing I was just reading in the patch notes is that METAR injection has been improved. I imagine that's why our clouds look so good and so different. Anyway, to get replay mode, all we need to do is come into dev mode up here, click options, come down to experimental here and click enable replay panel. Let's see what this does. Right, here it is, it's added a new thing up here, so there we go. Right, now it's time to record it. There we go, it's recording us if we get inside. I like it very much. No noticeable lag, which to be fair, I wouldn't imagine there would be. What we're going to do is we're going to come down, we're going to get close to the ground, and we're going to basically buzz the airfield if I can find it. Of course, it's going to be roughly behind us, seeing as we've kind of kept pretty simple with the heading. Pull back on the speed. Something I can see down there is that we've got camera track recording. That's right, when I was reading the patch notes I realised not only can you record your aircraft, you can also record the location of your camera. But now I'm going to speed over it. I've changed the weather just so I can see, because I was getting quite lost, quite frankly. But just look at the display down there, showing you the whole of East Anglia. I think that's very good stuff. Right, let's get low and quick. and buzz some of the buildings over here. Beautiful. And pull up. That's what I'm talking about. I hope replay mode worked well there. It'll be certainly interesting to see what it does. So I guess at this point we're going to click stop and play, I guess. And there we go, works straight away. It's following us camera wise. So I guess, I mean I'm not too sure as I'm completely new to this. I guess we can flip between. Maybe if we pause it and go and record our camera movement. Yeah, there we go. We get to record camera movement and follow the aircraft along. What we're going to do now is move it to when we were at the airfield. There he goes. It can work really well, but it's going to take a lot of time for me to get used to. You can see performance wise there's no flickering and all lights are properly recorded. Let's get a bit closer. Oh, disappeared there. I noticed you can also set pinpoints to put your, basically to allow it to come to a certain point so you remember. For example, I imagine you can do it for takeoff or landing. At the current moment, replay tool is going to take a bit of time for me to get used to, but I imagine once I get completely used to it, you can really work with it and make even better Microsoft Flight Simulator videos. And of course, it's a lot of fun to watch those landings back. Personally, I do really enjoy how my replay tools work, but I'm sure I'll be able to use that. Now with the Game of the Year edition, which everyone who owns a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator before this update will automatically get, you don't only get the F18, you also get a few other aircraft. I'm going to now come to them. So you get the Pilatus PC6, which is a very rugged aircraft. We're going to take a look at it in a minute. But what I would say is the highlight for me is certainly a very interesting aircraft. It's the Volocity. It says city at the end and it's spelled incorrectly on purpose, basically because this is a city air taxi. Let's go right into central London and we'll take a look. We'll go clear skies for this just because I kind of want good visibility and load up. Now while it's loading up we can talk about what this aircraft is. So it's an experimental aircraft, it doesn't actually exist in real life yet, but you may see it in the skies over the next few years. It comes in the Game of the Year edition alongside the F18, the PC6 Porter, let me correct myself there. The Cub Crafters NX Cub, which is a Yakima based Cub Crafters, perfect for bush flying of course, and the Aviat Pitts Special S1S. I'm not going to show all of them today because of course I wouldn't have much time, but that is basically their biplane but with a single seat option. I have to say from what I've heard already, the PC6 Porter seems to be very realistic. I've taken a look at it already and I really do like it. But anyway, we're loaded in now, so let's see what we get. I've never been in this, a bit slow to load up, but hey, it is what it is. Right, here we are in the cockpit. Now, it's certainly very interesting. Oh my goodness, it looks like something right out of the future. Rightfully so, I guess. Now I have spotted a potential bug. I can't seem to turn off the instruments on the heads-up display. Here am I trying to go into settings to find it. I looked around for 10 minutes and could not find anything. Now before we fly this, it's very significant for a variety of reasons. First of all, it means Asobo is bringing over a helicopter flight model of some sort. We're just going to put replay mode on as I'm talking, just so we can watch it back maybe later. I might not, it just depends how the flight goes. Now notice it's a battery-powered aircraft. That's right, it's fully electric. Me being a bit of a petrol head, I'm not too sure how I feel about this. It doesn't make as good noise, and in real life it wouldn't smell so good. But there we go, that's me being silly, I guess. The electric is the future after all. Let's see how it flies. Let's get all the way up now, and just push my yoke forward to come forward, I guess. Now the thing is with this aircraft is that it is incredibly slow. Of course it's designed to be a taxi, so you're not going to go incredibly quickly here. But we're getting there. Certainly looks interesting from the outside. But it is a really good way to look and see over London. Can we open the door? No, we cannot. We've got a bunch of all the engine starters up here. I'm guessing that's engine power unit, engine supply unit, something like that, I'd imagine. Let's come into land now. We'll flip ourselves around. Making sure we're applying a bit of power to come forward, but not that much. And slowly bring this bad boy down. There we go, using a bit of rudder to help us. Might end up on the grass. Okay, let's try and get over to the taxiway. Just there we go, bit of a look at this. Oh, bit of a heavy landing there, but there we go, love it. I don't know what I think of this. I think it's a cool concept, but not the funnest aircraft to fly on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm sure someone will enjoy it. Now we're going to look at the PC6 Porter and talk about some more features. By far my favourite aircraft brought over in the Game of the Year edition, we've got the Pilatus PC6 Porter. This did come over with Milviz as a payware add-on, but Asobo have made their own one, and for free I have to say it's pretty good. Free for those who were lucky enough to get the Game of the Year edition for free. I'll be taking a look at that aircraft in a minute, it's right in front of you as you can see. But there's more aircraft. There's also a Cub Crafters NX Cub and an Aviat Pit Special S1S. I decided not to review these in this video, instead they'll get their own individual video on my channel over the next few days. In fact, all of the new aircraft will in depth, but I decided not to look at those two because they're pretty similar to aircraft we've got in game. The PC6 is certainly unique. We'll be taking a look at that in a minute, but first of all, we've got plenty of airports to talk about. Now in this video I'll be showcasing Patrick Space Force Base, which is where we are at the moment, and Zurich Airports, which will be closer to the end. You get 8 new handcrafted airports, 2 of which I just spoke about. You also get Leipzig Airport, Echo Delta Delta Papa, Algo Airport, Echo Delta Juliet Alpha, Kassel Airport, Echo Delta Victor Kilo, Lugano Airport, Lima Sierra Zulu Alpha, Zurich Airport, Lima Sierra Zulu Hotel, Luzern Airport, Lima Sierra Zulu Oscar, and Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, the Top Gun airbase over in California. The one you're seeing right now is Patrick Space Force Base, and I have to say it's probably the most boring one out of them all. There's just not much going on, but Asobo have done a really good job in terms of bringing over. All the airports do look really good, and we'll take a look out at Zurich at the end. But now let's head back over to our beautiful PC6. So welcome to the cockpit. This will be the last aircraft we take a look in this video. I'll look at all the others in other videos. I just don't want to keep it going on for too long because there is plenty of stuff to talk about, and plenty of worthy stuff to be fair that I could include in this video. I just don't want to drag it out too long. Now this is by far my favourite one out of the 5. I think it's the most well modelled one, and although the F18 is certainly a good contender, I think this one just feels more realistic. I've got to be honest. Maybe that's just because Asobo are used to making aircraft like these, but we're going to show you the true beauty of it. So let's open replay mode and get that started. I'm going to love learning how to use that. And we'll just taxi round. Now the great thing about this plane is that it is super short takeoff and landing. You can get it up really quickly for an aircraft, and let's be honest, it's fairly big to be fair. It's not like your tiny little Cub, it's a plane that can be used for the likes of skydiving. But if you watch, and even if you get yourself in the correct wind position, you can get this up in literally just over 100 meters. The aircraft is aching to go. And although that was not the best run up for me, I could probably make it shorter. Certainly impressive. We're already up. And just look at it. It looks absolutely beautiful, even in this slightly crazy livery. Its performance is absolutely incredible, incredibly high rate of climb and descent can be achieved. I really love it, it's got to be my favourite, narrowly beating the F18. Now is a good time to talk about what I think about this update so far. I haven't even touched on all the features, primarily because there's so many it would be a very long video. Of course the main stuff here are the 5 new aircraft, and replay mode and the likes of the new stuff like DirectX 12. While a lot of it is still in beta, that does not mean a lot of it isn't impressive. Replay mode has a lot of potential. It will take a few days to get to learn and to be able to use in a sufficient manner, but I'm sure I'll get there. Of course, many of you will have got the Game of the Year updates just to try out new planes, and let's be honest, they are very cool in their own right. The airports are also a very nice addition, adding 8 handcrafted airports across the USA and Central Europe. But on top of that, you also get information about 545 previously missing airports in the United States of America. That's a lot, but it does mostly consist of pretty small bush airports. There's also some more missions in the menu, and we'll talk about that in a minute before we take a look around Zurich and I give you my final thoughts. But you don't only get that, you also get, in collaboration with Bing Maps again, some more photogrammetry cities, including Helsinki in Finland, Freiburg in Germany, Brighton, Derby, Eastbourne, Newcastle and Nottingham in the United Kingdom, my homeland, Verpoint de Gare, Cherbourg, Port Vendôme in France, I apologise for any horrific pronunciation there, and Utrecht in the Netherlands. That's plenty of stuff to dig your teeth into, and being honest, I wouldn't have enough time to show you all in one video. But the bug fixes have also been immense. Several crashes have also been fixed across the title. And bringing over DirectX 12, even in beta, should improve the stability for many. You do also get the standard bug fixes, such as the new navigation cycle, and of course a few areas hand fixed by the team, including the Dead Sea in this version. For those of you on VR, you've got plenty of new options now, including to be able to use hand controllers, VR controllers with Microsoft Flight Sim. I imagine that will greatly improve the realism for you. There is more patch notes available on the website, plenty to talk about, including updates with the standard airliners, especially the 787 with a brand new, sorted heads-up display. I would have to say, replay tool is certainly my favourite feature. I just need a bit of training with it. Let's do that now, while we're here, still in Florida. It does work very well, and definitely does not hurt performance. They seem to have organised it in a very good way. We're filming a camera track now, so I'm guessing that's just recording my movements, like this. And as such, allows me to do awesome things, like filming my drone cam moving while watching the aircraft. I mean, doesn't that look absolutely amazing? Some of this might even make my first entry. Some of it might even make the intro. Just look at that bad boy, the climb rate is absolutely incredible. I really do love this update. No major glitches, nothing that's frozen me out. It is really bloody awesome. We're now going to move over to Zurich while I continue to film some awesome replay shots. I really love it, and I haven't even talked about the Reno air race yet. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I haven't even got my hands on it. So coming back to the main menu before we head over to Zurich, we've got some new flight training. This includes a new bush pilot section with the Icon i5 in partnership with FS Academy, as well as IFR in the Cessna 172. I really like this. FS Academy have been doing some awesome tutorials payware, so bringing them over for free in the Game of the Year edition is really admirable. On top of that, we've also got some new discovery flights in some of the new cities. Here you can see all of them, from Mecca in Saudi Arabia, of course a holy site for Muslims, and Helsinki in Finland, which has got brand new photogrammetry. Really awesome places, and I can't wait to go through them. We're finally going to wrap up this video by heading over to Zurich. I'll see you there. My friends, if I had to give the award to the best airport out of the Game of the Year update, it would be Zurich Airport, as Sobo have done a really good job here. While it is not perfect, it does look really good. Pop in some AI air traffic and it looks really realistic. From a somewhat stunning interior, it's not perfect, but it's good enough, to a brilliant exterior. It is certainly my favourite. I haven't tried all of them, I've looked through most of them, and of course we've already had some footage released of some of them across the internet, so I do have a vague idea, but so far this is definitely the winner. It's absolutely incredible that most of us will be getting our hands on this for free. Now I understand this is not a perfect update, it never would be, and it would be silly for me to say it is, but I have to say, so far I'm very impressed. DirectX 12 from the comparison videos already on the internet seems to be a somewhat game changer. While performance doesn't increase massively, it does open the door for many things in the future and optimises GPU usage, which is always a very handy thing. It basically means in short term that you can basically squeeze more out of your GPU. I think that is very important. And Zurich is absolutely beautiful, I have to say. Look at the mountains in the background over there. Being completely truthful with you all, the biggest letdown in this update would have to be the F18. While it's nice to have a fighter jet, there's a lot of stuff that does not work in there, as you saw from my first look. And although my initial impression was pretty good, I have to say in hindsight, there's a lot of work that needs to be done for that to be quite fun to fly. And as I said at the time, the flight model is not necessarily what I would expect with a fighter jet. Maybe it's like it in real life, but not required to put any rudder action on takeoff, I think is quite unrealistic. The star of the show would have to be the replay tool and DirectX 12, although they're both in beta, they open the door up to so many more things. The Handcrafted Airports, some of them are impressive, some of them less so. I'd have to say Zurich is beautiful and clearly a lot of work has gone into here, and most of the aircraft are very good. Overall, this is a very impressive update combining Sim Update 7 with the Game of the Year update. Don't know what that truck is doing to get on top of the multi-story car park or something there. Slightly concerning, but hey, we even got a little tram down there. That is exactly why I play Microsoft Flight Simulator, for the little trams. How cute. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it hasn't been perfect, there's just been so many things to talk about, so it's been very hard to compress into some sort of chronological order. There'll be more videos on my channel about this update, but for now I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, it really does help me out. But from me today, that is all. I'll see you around. Thank you to my first class channel members, they get a shout out. Thank you to Jonathan Desmond, Captain Matt Russell, Jesse Wiseman, Ethan Bebeck, Fanny Leibenberg, Hello, Owen K and Simon Schmidt. You guys really do help me out and your support is always very much appreciated. From me today, I'll see you around. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member or buying some merch down below. We've got quite a few orders for those posters, so if you want it by Christmas, be sure to order as soon as possible. I'll see you around, guys. Good day.